least it's morning for me. So this is the second member Q&A for August 2025. And my name is Betsy Ko. We've been doing this for about 3 years, and I can't believe it's been 3 years. It just zipped by. And I've been on WikiTree for about 5 years, and I vividly remember what the learning curve was like. There were a lot of frustrating moments when I just couldn't understand how to get the wiki code to cooperate, and luckily, because of the community, I did find people who were very patient and just let me ask many questions, and it helped a lot. But one thing that was missing in those interactions was it was a lot by email, and so there wasn't a visual component to it. So when I was in lockdown, like all of us were in 2020, and teaching high school over well, it was a similar version to Zoom, teaching online, I realized the power of screen sharing. And I thought, wouldn't that have been great when I was learning some of the WikiTree navigation things if I could have seen a demonstration like, here, let me do it for you, let me watch you do it. So that's how these sessions came to be. So I have the four of us. There are four co-hosts for this. So lucky to be joined by Stephen Greenwood and Denise Jarrett and Hillary Gadsby. So who have all longtime WikiTreeers with a lot of wisdom to share. Hopefully between the four of us, we can answer most questions. So let me turn it over to Denise. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, okay. Denise Jarrett. I've been a member of WikiTree since 2020. Again, a result of the pandemic, had nothing else to do. And I went out to Roots Tech and heard about WikiTree, and I said, oh, let me check this out. Being from an IT area, and at one point, my job was to test different systems and different applications. So I did struggle a little bit, but it was a challenge going through and trying to figure out how to do certain things within WikiTree. So but it was something that I really enjoy doing. I enjoy the concept of WikiTree, being able to identify the person, describing what's in that dash, between birth date and the death date, what's in that dash. And that's what I like. I like being able to put in the biographies and the information about the people so that those that follow us will be able to understand who their ancestors were, or at least get a better picture of who their ancestors were. And that's one of the things I love most about WikiTree.
Awesome. And Stephen actually came to the very first member Q&A.
I've been around a little bit.
He was so helpful. I thought, I gotta get this guy on here. He's gotta be a regular. And fortunately he said yes. I'm in Chicago. Steve is just a little bit up the road for me.
We still haven't actually met in real life yet.
We keep trying.
It's only 90 miles for the time being. Yeah, so of introductions. To add to what Denise said about the dash, I actually, when I was graduating high school, someone spoke at my commencement about the dash in between the birth date and the death date on the tombstone, and to do something with your dash. And for some reason, that has stuck with me for 17 years. No, more than that, because it was 2003. So 22 years of doing something with my dash. So shortly after, I started a wiki in 2005. And I've been off and on the wikis, since that time. And then, of course, your pandemic happened in 2020. And my ninth cousin, Oliver, who is in Germany, added a whole bunch of information about the ancestors that my grandmother had been working on. So I started piecing together the picture, I started putting the dots together. And before I knew it, I was a regular contributor to WikiTree, using these, using everything that I learned beforehand with Wiki software and knowing how to already navigate. Obviously WikiTree has a bit of an uphill, climb because of how complex and vast it is. But because I already had that background, it did help me, move forward at least on the basics of, wiki editing and what to do and contacting people and such like that. So yeah, I've been on this since we started, 3 years ago for the new member. And now we're seeing the evolution of this program. We're having them with more people helping out. We're focusing a little bit differently on our area, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I appreciate all you guys coming out to these every week.
Yeah. Before Murray, we continue with the introductions. I recognize almost everybody, but is there anyone who has joined within the last 2 months? Joined WikiTree. Okay. Because I was going to say, we, as Steve mentioned, sort of an evolution. We do have a wide range of difficulty level of the questions that we address. And so it just sort of depends on who's here and what they want to know. But if for brand new WikiTree members, in fact, might I say, WikiTree newts, stands for new to WikiTree. We do have a dedicated monthly chat. And you get a special one-time email inviting you to that during the month that you join WikiTree. So I just, if there's anyone who's listening where it's like over your head, then we have those, and we have a free space page for those as well.
Betsy?
Yes. Yeah.
That was one of the things I was going to ask about. I have a friend that I've kind of coerced into joining WikiTree with me. And so I occurred to me, now I don't really know how to explain to her how to use it exactly. So is there this, I know you talked about this class before, is there some way to get access to?
Yes, I will put the link to that free space page in the chat. So you can,
okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay, Murray, over to you.
Oh, hi. I'm Murray Maloney. I am a retired author editor. I just want to say to everybody who's relatively new that I had years and years and years of experience in the software industry and in information management and in writing. And when I came to WikiTree, I thought it was hard. So if you're finding it's hard, it's not just you. Okay. Everybody finds it hard. It's a new way of doing things, and it's really complicated and sophisticated. It's much bigger and more comprehensive than any of the other sites that you've used, any of the tools that you've used for genealogy. I came to WikiTree because I got bored, really. I'd been, doing my tree on Ancestry, and I'd been doing my stuff on family tree DNA, and I had been working with some cousins who were descended from my seventh great grandmother, and who were all mtDNA descendants of that grandmother, and I found that, okay, great, I've gotten this far, and nobody knows. Like, how, nobody knows what I've done. Nobody can see the results of what I've done. And how do I share this? And then I found WikiTree, and I realized, okay, now I can, I can connect with all these people that are already in the tree, and I can add the people that aren't already in the tree, and now people will be able to come and see and follow these paths, and if they've got something to add, if they've got information that I didn't have, they can add it there. And so instead of working in isolation on an ancestry tree and trying to tell other people on Ancestry that no, they made a mistake, that's kind of like going out on the web and trying to tell somebody out there that no, they're wrong. Okay, just it's pointless, right? But here we can say what we believe to be or know to be the truth, and somebody can come along and say, well, actually, I've got this record that says otherwise. So let's discuss that, because maybe we need to work on this. And to me, that's a better way of working, and it's a better way of building the tree. And obviously, we've got this great group of people here today who seemingly agree with that notion. Anyway, that's why I joined WikiTree, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to help people, learn how to use it and figure out what's going on. Back to you, Betsy.
Okay. All right. And I'm just going to toss it to Hillary, and then Hillary will lead us into our questions with Jenny. And then Jessica, we see you have questions too. So we'll split the time between you two. Okay.
Yeah, I have been on WikiTree the longest of all the co-hosts of this. I have been on WikiTree since 2011.
Wow.
I am one of the WikiTree greeters. I started greeting in about 2014, 2013. I did take a break for a bit. Work commitments were getting such, and I didn't. But I rejoined, and I am still one of the current greeters. I think Betsy mentioned about mentors as well, and I've been a mentor on the mentor thing. I'm actually one of the project coordinators for the England project for their orphan trail, and I'm one of the trailblazers for that. And I probably explaining a bit about the orphan trail might actually help people with some understanding of how things on WikiTree have changed. I mean, when I joined WikiTree, I was able to add a load of GEDCOM, and I uploaded a really big GEDCOM, which you can't do now, which is probably a good idea, because you add too much, you've got lots of things to have to clean up and tidy up, because if you when you add things via a GEDCOM, there's always something that needs changing on it. And I've still got quite a lot of profiles and things that I need to do some work on, but I'm gradually getting there through things. I've orphaned quite a few. I've still got some that I've sort of partially cleaned up, and I want to just improve. But quite a few years ago now, one of the England project members created a means of helping people with adding their sources and things onto WikiTree, and from that the orphan trail evolved, and she was helping people that were new members to the project, and that to know what to do, and that it's grown a lot since then. And I'm going to share my screen, because by sharing this it may actually help quite a few more people. Oh, right. I need to be able to share.
Did I not make you do you need
No.
to sorry. There we go.
You're okay.
Okay.
Now let's see. I will make sure I press the right. All right. Share my other screen.
Well, we have some more people. Welcome, new people. Welcome, Rick and Lisa.
Right. On the other screen here, I've got, this is what we send a link to for anybody that joins the Orphan Trail. It's what we call the Trailers Index. It's really just an index with a load of pages that are helpful to people that are joining the England project. There's a bit of explanation about the various stages on the Orphan Trail. As people start on the Orphan Trail, they start on this first stage, and we have profiles there that we ask people to choose from when they join. But we used to ask them to choose profile when they first joined. But if we've been very busy and we haven't got many trailblazers, it can be some time before they get somebody to help them. So we now tend to do it once they've actually got somebody that can help mentor them as a trailblazer, so that they're not sort of working on something and getting so far and getting stuck and not having anybody to ask about what to do. As you can see, as I scroll here, we've got a lot of resources, things to tell people. If you've never done any research in England, these can be really, really helpful. This one is the England Project, the Orphan Trail Part 1, which is which is the one that we like to start people on. It's where we've got the most information. It's where we've got the birth and death and marriage indexes. We've got this. We've got the census years there. All the censuses there for the ones that are available, and so that's really a lot where a lot of people will be starting their research, because if you've got if you still live in England, or your family has only recently emigrated to somewhere else, then people are probably going to have been born in the country. So there's lots of information there. But one thing is really useful, if I go back to this page, we've got templates for people. So if you're not sure how to cite various sites, this was one thing that we really needed. But on this page, we've got examples of how to cite those various sites. Now, this was all set up prior to Rob creating his saucer, but it's actually quite useful, and we do try and encourage people to actually know how to write this, so that should they be having problems or not be able to use saucer, they can still add a source reference onto their profile. So they don't actually have to be using the browser apps that a lot of people like to use, that's so that they can and also there's actually things that may not be being covered, but I think he's probably covered most of those things now. But it is useful to have. There's also things, we also have links for resources that people can use to go to, and that some of the things that are not the standard things. And one nice thing is we've got galleries and collections that have given WikiTree permission to use their images, because we don't all have images for things, and you might find that when you're doing something that you want an image, and there's an image in that, and it on the websites, one of these websites, and they've all actually allowed us to use their images, provided we cite where we got them from. So and that is probably the main thing with WikiTree, is citing where you've got the source from. And so I'd recommend to anybody that that's joining to either join, if you're in England or Wales, joining the England project, or I'll put a link to this page in the chat there, because people might find it useful, even if they're not actually looking in England. I'll copy the link, and I'll stop sharing.
I'll just interject for 1 second, just with an endorsement. I did all 3 levels of the England Trail, and it was just a fantastic learning experience. I sort of had that initial period of trying to go it alone, and then I followed up with some of my specific geographical interests by doing the training trails. So England has an excellent one. Scotland also has a 3-level trail, and Canada has a 3-level trail. I've done everything but the last level of Canada. And so for a new member, that's a really terrific way to learn the ins and outs of WikiTree within an area of your interest. And US Black Heritage Project that Denise is a leader of.
Project lead, yeah.
Project leader. What's that called? It's not.
It's the path. PATH.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we have, and then also Profile Improvement Project. There's a PIP voyage that you can take. Highly recommend any of those.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with all of those, like Hillary was saying, you most likely you'll have a mentor, someone who can assist you as you go through those different stages. So it's not like that's thrown at you and you're doing it alone. There's someone available to assist you and walk you through those stages.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I didn't, maybe it's just me, but with the orphan trails, they're called orphan trails. I just sort of went with it without thinking, why is it called that? That's sort of odd. And it has to do with the fact that the profiles that we work on in those cases have been orphaned. There's no profile manager to watch over them, and therefore they're a great case study for newts to learn on and do good for a profile.
Yeah. We have very occasionally let people work on some of their own profiles if they really if we really need to, but we try to get them to work on an orphan one and then just take what they've learned on that orphan over to using it on their own profiles. You know, a lot of people when they first join, if you're going to be adding parents and grandparents, people that you knew, a lot of what you can add, you can probably add because you knew that person. You could just cite the fact that you spoke to that person, or you may actually have a certificate that was given to that person or that person's parents when they were born. You can cite that, but we like to cite 3 things. But when in England, when we cite somebody's birth, we're usually using the indexes, which means we don't tend to have an exact birth, but you might have the exact birth if if somebody has actually in the family has registered it, or if you've been into genealogy for a while, you may have ordered it yourself and you've got a copy of the certificate. I mean, I've got certificates for a lot of the direct line, but I don't necessarily have certificates for all the brothers and the siblings and all that sort of thing. But you can still cite that they registered this, that they were registered on a particular day, maybe that what the mother's maiden name is, so therefore you're putting some proof into the fact that this was the mother's maiden, this was the mother. And if you're going up to 1921 now, you can probably, if they were born before that, they would have been on at least one census. So unless you get the odd one that won't be on a census or won't be on all the censuses because there were perhaps a merchant seaman or something and they weren't, or in the army or something and they weren't in the country, but you will get a lot of that information. So it's if you've had, I suspect a lot of people that come on to WikiTree have also been on one of the other big websites like Find My Past or Ancestry and possibly built a tree there. So the chances are that unless you're very, very beginner, you've probably got something there. And WikiTree says it's fine to put in just that you know your personal knowledge or that somebody told you, as long as you say who told you, if somebody told you, if it's something that you wouldn't have known from having spoken to somebody yourself.
Right.
And now Rick Clellan said he's having trouble getting a response from the England Project membership. Is there any suggestion on who a specific person he can contact? Or
there is a G2G post. I can find the G2G post. There should be a G2G sign up post for the England project. I used to be the membership coordinator at one point, but I haven't. It's Kathy now. But we really like them to put it on there so that we know that when we go through the post that whether somebody's actually said, "Oh, I want to join." Sort of thing.
That's what he said he did. So
okay. Well,
I can contact the membership person and ask if they've heard from, because usually we just say, oh, send a private message through to, if somebody will reply to it, and then it's usually just send a private message to the person who's seen your post, and that if it's got overlooked, then we can sort that out.
We'll get you connected, Rick.
Yeah.
So if Ian was going to do something, he's one of the England project leaders. So if he was going to do something, I'm sure he. Yeah. Well, I'll chase it up with the membership coordinator.
Now you've got several of us on the case. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jessica had a comment, and I think we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, left-handedness. And she
yes.
wants to be able to identify the left-handed folks like Steve.
Well, and Ann too.
Your family tree. We
How
don't
odd.
have a sticker for that as far as I know.
Take a sticker.
But you need a sticker, is that what you said? Maybe
I want a sticker now.
Yeah, maybe you all can rally to get a sticker, but
Is there a
I would
category? A category maybe would work too?
Well, we
for
just had, we
left-handedness.
featured the connections with them, didn't we? So we already know of
Yes.
at least, what, 14, 15
Yeah, yeah. So
notable?
there may be a category out there for left-handedness. If not,
I'll do a
you can
search.
set up your own personal category, Jessica, and to identify your left-handed family members.
Let's see. I'm going to search all WikiTree pages for.
Okay.
Jenny, I know you were fairly new to WikiTree. Did you have any specific problems that you were struggling, things that you were struggling with?
Huh.
Is that to me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for asking. I joined because somebody on Ancestry recommended it as a way of learning to navigate free resources. And then when I joined, I got a little overwhelmed. I have ADHD and I like a quick, I like to click here and it's done. So it's definitely stretched my capacity, to be honest. And I haven't really known where to start. It's been overwhelming to me. And then it's the summer, so I just kind of like ignored it a bit. So I received a message from Hillary and was very grateful and joined today. I have a question about DNA, I guess. Like I had a DNA test done through Ancestry, and when I uploaded it, I saw that helped me solve a family mystery that had plagued my family for about 75 years. So that was really cool. And I think I had a bit of beginner's luck with it. And I've been building my tree ever since on Ancestry, but it's expensive. And I want to move it over and be a little bit more intentional with the sources. I've noticed a few people in my family tree, they're attributed to the same parents and they're different people. So I'm trying to fact check that now. I guess, yeah, just that's pretty rambling, but that's where I'm at.
You might benefit from using the browser apps then. I don't know what browser you use on your computer, but
I think I have them all.
because Rob Pavey, who is a member of the England project, he has created something called WikiTree Sourcer, which you can use to source things, and you can use it to bring over the individual people from Ancestry tree.
Okay.
So that would help you, because if you've got sources on the Ancestry tree that you've added from Ancestry, it will give you a source citation, and it'll include in it a image link to any images that you've got on there. So
Right.
it'd be what you want, really.
Okay.
And it can also do the same with the family search tree. If you've got any family on family search tree, you can do the same thing with that. So
Yeah, there is some, yeah. I also have this book, not to hog the conversation at all, but Stephen, I just had a quick look in here. There's a Stephen Greenwood in here. Is that you?
Sure. Yes, I'm a time traveler. It's totally me.
No, this one was born in 1987.
Right. I would have fudged my birthday.
Okay. Weirder things have happened.
It's a common name. I mean, apparently there's a dentist in Australia with my same name, middle initial too. So, whenever I ego surf, which is the term of, typing in your own name into Google, it pulls up other people too. However, because it knows I'm in America, it points to my stuff, so it's still kind of doing its job. But there was always a curiosity just to see, like, yeah, who shared my name? It's a common name.
Okay.
Greenwood is a very common surname in Britain, for example. I'm sure that Hillary is aware of that. They're all where do they all come from? Yorkshire, I think, is where I don't want to say ancestors because at some point there was an adoption and we're technically Armstrongs. So there's a whole thing I'm still trying to investigate there. But the people who adopted my second great grandfather came from Yorkshire and Dent in particular. So, if I wanted to do more research on those people, yeah, I could certainly look into it. But I don't feel like I have a connection because I'm not genetically related to them.
Right.
There's only 4 generations of my actual name, and it's all in America. Yeah. So something that people probably didn't know about.
Yeah. Well,
Otherwise,
believe it or not, there's another person with exactly the same name as me. Both of us have got our surnames.
And this is how I got there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not necessarily common names you can easily find that you've got somebody else. And I think the chances are this other person that's got the same name as me is actually connected to my husband's, one of my other husband's lines. So we're probably both connected to the same family in the long run. So it's a small world, isn't it? Yeah. No, but I think there are a lot more help pages on WikiTree than there ever were. It's just knowing where to find them, and the easiest thing to do is just to ask. If you're searching in a particular geographic area, it's probably worth, and there's a project that covers that area, it's probably worth asking in that geographic area, is there something have you got any free space pages that I can access that might help me with my research or how best to do things. So yeah.
Jenny, are you aware of Discord?
Yes, apparently I had it. I've had it for some time. I've never used it though. And I did join the WikiTree page.
Okay, that's a great place to ask questions and get fairly immediate responses.
Okay.
People are on the Discord channels all day and all night from all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting.
That's very helpful. If you scroll up in the chat a little bit, you'll find that I put a link to the Sorcerer help page. So you can find that.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Also,
Yep.
I don't have the link at hand, but recently on Tech Talk, Rob Pavey did a really great session where he just, he showed off a lot of the features of Sorcerer. So now I'm not sure whether you're aware, but these Zoom sessions, as well as the Tech Talk Zoom sessions, are saved and available on YouTube, so that you can go back and you can look through some of those to catch up on how to do different things. Hillary was mentioning that you might want to move stuff from your tree on Ancestry over to WikiTree using Sorcerer. With Sorcerer, you can just go to a given profile that you have on Ancestry. I'm going to assume that you've already gathered sources that were available there to you on Ancestry. And you can just with one click, you can gather up all of the information about that person, all of the sources. You go over to your WikiTree corresponding profile and paste it all in. It's magical.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just makes such a huge difference in being able to work with WikiTree. When my first 3 years on WikiTree, I didn't have Sorcerer, and I was putting in all my sources. I'd have to craft each one and decide exactly how to write this source. And boy, that took a long time. I mean, if I was going to add anybody, I was going to add probably one person a day. And now if I needed to, I could add dozens of people in a day. And do it within minutes, each one within minutes.
Yeah, that you're speaking my language. Quick is better. We don't want to spend our whole dash. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would,
It's
Yes.
turn
would
around
we
to
like,
Exactly.
that.
would we like
Yeah.
to see a demo of that?
Love to.
Oh, okay. Murray, why I'm got to get set up here. So why don't you please keep talking while I do that.
Okay. So yeah, so the sorcerer tool allows you to do things that you might take a long time. You can copy sources from Ancestry, also from Family Search. Now on WikiTree, we tend to prefer that if a source is available on WikiTree, on Ancestry and also on Family Search, we prefer to have you link to the one on Family Search.
Because it's free.
Now, because it's free, right? And everybody can follow that link. Now, but having said that, let me also say this. If you create a profile and you use all Ancestry sources, somebody might come behind you and say, oh, I'm going to update these. I'm going to put in the Family Search link. Okay. Um, some people actually find it shocking when people just come along and start editing the profile that you've been working on. But these are people who have experience and they want to improve on what you've done. They're not trying to shame you. They're not trying to make you look bad. They're trying to make things better.
Mm-hmm.
So you might expect that to happen as well. And I think Betsy is now ready to give you a bit of a demo.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Murray.
You bet.
So I've been working on this family for the last few weeks. It's personal family mystery here. So what we'll do today is we're going to add John as the son of Isabel. So first of all, you can tell that I have sorcerer here by this little 1 up here. That's the 1 in the square brackets is the symbol for sorcerer. So what I'm going to do from his main facts page is I'm going to go down in the menu to save person data.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the good thing is if I go too fast on this, you'll be able to rewatch it on the video when it goes up on YouTube. So, okay, now you can see person data saved to local storage. So I'm good. I'm going to go over to I could go to his mother or his father's profile. It doesn't really matter. Edit. And now let me add a child. So far as I know, well, the system will tell me if there's a possible match, but I'm going to assume that it's a new profile. And now what I'm going to do, see, Stevenson is Isabel's married name. So that's already filled in there. Now I'm going back to my 1 and I'm going to select set fields from person data for John L. Stevenson, saved 49 seconds ago. And it didn't like my birth location. I'm pretty sure I know a more specific location than that, but I don't have proof yet. So I'm just going to say New York State. So you can see that magically now we've got the rest of the fields. So now let's see if there's potential. Oh, good Lord.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. I didn't count on this. Well, see, some of these Jonathan, I'm sure he's John from a census as a child. Canada, I can dismiss. Anything that's not New York, I can dismiss. All right. That's not the right location, even though it's New York. I mean, actually, I would be thrilled if he were a match because I lost the trail for him after the 1850 census. This is a bit more than we usually get in terms of potential matches, unless you're trying to add a Mary Smith, then that would probably be worse. The English ones I can say no.
And you'll notice it's doing it's searching for the name. So you see some that say Stevens, and that's Stevens' son. So it's looking for any possible variations of that name.
And probably giving some Stevensons with a PH instead of a, it's a fuzzy search, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it seems to be getting away from your input. So is it getting less relevant as you go down? Like were the closer hits at the top?
I think so. I don't know. Murray, Steve, Denise, Hillary, do you know? Is it ordered that way?
Well, I don't know if it's ordered that way, and I wouldn't want to make that assumption because sometimes you can get to the bottom of the list and that's the person you were looking for.
Right.
Actually,
But
before you click on none of these as a match, could you go back to the top?
Yes. Sorry for the scrolling, everyone.
no, this is really useful.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have the filters there. Okay, no, sorry, my mistake.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean where it says partial
birth or location.
and that,
And
that's
yeah,
a
you can yeah, you can set some filters and you know, so that you would eliminate England, for example, because
right.
okay, so none of these is a match.
None of these is a match. And so now you just double checks. Yes, her husband is the other parent. Check. That's the default. Continue. Now this is giving me just what's going to go into the bio box. We'll look at that in a second because it's all done. It's going to keep us in edit mode. The explanation is adding using external data from Ancestry. And now I'm going to proceed. Okay, so we're in edit mode of the new profile. So we can see that we have Joseph as the father, Isabel as the mother. We've got the siblings. And now here's our biography box. And I may want to add something. His father was a hotel keeper. And I make a point of that because it sort of throws the census table off a little bit because their household entry in the census is long because it's the family and then all the hotel guests.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what it did, now he's the oldest child, so we get to see the parents and him and the next sibling. But I sort of wish I had a way around that.
You can specify how many people you want to include if you've got a long one that's got very long one, because I think there is a way in the settings for it that you can adjust how many you want to add, but you may not want to add, you know, most of the time just adding 2 or 3 either side is probably plenty.
I mean, this is a highly specific situation that I don't anticipate. I don't think I have any other hoteliers in my family, so probably won't be an issue. But in this particular case, Isabel's sister is all the way at the end of the list. And I am interested in showing her presence in the household. Anyway, this is what we call an inline citation. So if I go to preview, it's going to come up like this with a little sort of footnote sort of thing, which will direct the reader down to this. And then they can, if they don't have Ancestry, that's okay. They can see a snapshot of the record. And you can actually zoom in on that. So that at least gets you started. Then you could find it on Family Search.
Now, Betsy, notice in this case, the household table is outside of the inline citation. So did you want to integrate the household table within the inline citation, or do you want it present on the text of the biography?
Good point, Steve. In this case, because I am puzzling out this family, I want it in the biography. But you're right. When you have, let's say, like 5 censuses, and it takes up a big chunk of real estate. So let me show. Well, first, let's go back and look at
Hotel
this
keeper
fact.
real estate. I see what you did there.
Yeah. So the
And-
way we know that it's an inline citation because of these ref tags there and
Above the table.
here.
Mhm.
Right. Now, if I want to do what Steve is suggesting, I'm going to move that just underneath. And now if I preview,
Yeah, let's go past the pipe and the curly bracket. That's the
yeah,
end of the table.
yep. Okay, now my biography is just going to look like this, and the census table is going to appear within the source citation.
And let me add that that's an option that you can set in Sorcerer
Mm-hmm,
so that you can choose to have it be one way or the other all the time.
mm-hmm.
And then what the edit that Betsy just did, if you choose, you generally want it to always appear in the biography, but occasionally you want to put it into the sources, then you can just do that edit manually.
Right.
And if you do the narrative, so the narrative will pull the information from that and sort of write it out for you anyway. So you can choose to have the household table and the inline citation and have the narrative explain the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If that looks better for the profile.
Right. Right. And then notice that what Sorcerer has done is it's created a see also section referencing my tree, which
Mhm.
happens to be public. So if someone wanted to, I don't actually know how to do, which is the significant number? Is it this? Or is it this? I haven't chased down any ancestry trees.
One is for the tree, the
Okay.
other is for the individual. So the
Ah,
tree is the 818-15600, I do
got it.
believe,
Okay. And then this is me.
that individual.
Okay.
162
Oh.
billion?
Well,
that is
I don't
no.
know about Ancestry's numbering system, but
That's more humans than were alive on the planet for the entire history of humanity, I think.
Well, because
Yes, but
Duplicates.
remember that everybody on Ancestry has
Has a-
their own tree.
Right, and
So
all the duplicates add up.
yeah,
Yeah, you can have several trees with the same, some people in all of them, can't you?
I think
with
I
that
think there's
same
been
name.
100.
Yeah.
I think there's been like 110 billion people that have ever lived on the planet throughout the entire history of humanity.
Wow.
That's sort of a weird estimation I came across some time ago. But when I see a number bigger than it, I'm like, oh, okay, there's something funny here.
You can click on your Ancestry person tab, and we can
yep.
verify. Yeah. So up at the top, yeah, you see you've got your tree, which is the 818-5600. And then the
Yeah.
person is the other number.
Oh wait, now it says 16 billion.
well,
Maybe I was
well done,
excited.
Denise.
Yes. I learned something. We all always learn something. Thank
Oh, it is 162 billion. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, I can fuss with this more later, but now I do have to say what I did, which I'll say I added a source. He's, as I said, he's a bit of a brick wall. I was able to trace all of his siblings at least a little farther. There seems to have been a
Good, I'm good.
family tragedy shortly after
I'm actually just on a conference call.
So the other children appear in the censuses with extended family after that because something must have happened to their parents. So hopefully I can find John.
And Betsy, also, depending which browser you're using, it auto saves all of those, summaries that you put in. So you noticed when you saw that drop down, it was trying to find anything that had adding sources at the start. So if you happen to do like a lot of repetitious, change explanations or summaries, you can just possibly, put in a couple of characters and it might auto populate for you.
Right.
But I have a system built just because it does it on my end.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Over time, we all develop systems,
Mhm.
ways that work for our brains and our, what we've got on our computers. So,
That's
so
left-handed.
hopefully that was helpful.
Very
Uh,
helpful. Thank you so much. And a couple of people mentioned browsers. Which browsers do you recommend for this work?
Well, I use Chrome, but it works on Safari as well. I
Okay.
believe there's a small fee to download Sorcerer to use on Safari. Like it's
Use
like
Firefox?
$5, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Firefox
works
has
on
no fee.
Edge as well. If you're using the Edge browser,
I do have that.
Microsoft Edge. Yeah, it works on that as well.
No, I'm a
Yeah,
Firefox user.
Firefox.
That's my preferred.
Firefox, yeah, Firefox. Mhm.
Okay,
And
I've used it on Firefox and I've used it on Chrome. I've used it on Kiwi on my tablet, but I'm now using it on Firefox on my tablet because Kiwi wasn't updating and it was difficult to use it with that. I think some of the things you needed to do on the Sorcerer, it wasn't working with Kiwi. So if you're going to use it on like I've got an Android tablet, if you're going to use it on that, you certainly probably need to use Firefox now.
Now, Amanda said, unfortunately, I can't trust Sorcerer for immigration records. The source is fine, but the narrative isn't. So that might be something you may want to report, Amanda, to the tech team.
yeah, Rob Pavey is the developer of Sorcerer, and he would certainly want to know about that.
Mhm.
So, but as a starting place, I believe we already put the help page for Sorcerer in the chat. I would leave a comment on that page, and then all the important people who need to know will get notified
Okay.
of that.
Now, Gio had a question a while back. I've uploaded a family photo to Belize 21. Like on Ancestry.com, can we zoom into a specific person for the thumbnail?
Do you want to screen share, Denise?
You would have to do that zoom independently and add that as a separate photo.
Ooh, I was afraid of that. Okay.
Yeah.
I've had to do that. Yeah.
That's a shame. Thank you.
Yeah, and similarly, maybe someday there will be a tagging ability in for group photos, but we don't have that right now. So
We did have it in WikiTree. Yeah.
really?
Yeah, you can tag the people that are in the photo.
Yeah.
Oh, how?
You
Yeah,
could
I've
tag
done
the,
that now. There's probably about 10 people in this picture, and I've added all 10, but I can't zoom into any of them. So that's why I was kind of wondering. It sounds like I have to do an individual crop and then load.
Like a crop. But
Yeah.
I know there was a tool, Denise, but there was I did a tip of the week segment on this, but there was a drawback. It's a long time ago, so I can't
Oh.
remember. But what do you do?
Well, let me find one because I have to think of one where I have a group of people in a photo.
Go ahead and look at my Belize-15 if you'd like.
Okay. If I move you all out of the way, I can do a search on that.
Hey, look, it's my name again. Like I said, very common.
You said 15?
Yes. Oh. Nope. Sorry.
Is it a Z or a C?
I think it was 21 is what you had in the chat.
Yeah. I should have said her grandparents. So Belize-21. So that's the image, and I've attached it to all the kids that are in the image, but I don't know how to zoom into it.
Here we go.
Yeah. So if we click on that photo,
Oh, that's a great photo.
That's
I know, I love it. It's amazing.
Amazing.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then now before the change, because I used it, there was a way to tag the folks in the photo.
Yeah, when you scroll down to the bottom,
Yeah.
I'm using the extension, the browser
Yeah.
extension, but at the bottom of this page, there should be on the right column.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you have to
So you have
do
to
it.
go to details. Go to details and open up the image in a new window because it's on an
Yeah.
overlay right now.
Yeah.
Very bottom to the left and hit details.
Okay, I'm trying to get there. Okay, I got to see it. You guys are in the way.
All right. Can you see that now?
Yes. So
That's
yeah,
the
with
traditional page.
yeah. So with the
So
page,
scroll down and you'll see where I've added. Well, I guess you see it there too, but scroll down and you'll see in the right column where you can add people. But
well, I see you've got the names listed here.
Scroll down a bit.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Are you having lagging issues?
Well,
of
I got mouse issues.
Okay.
My mouse doesn't want to behave. Let's see, what else we got here? Am I still scrolling down?
Mm-hmm.
So it
Keep
goes to
going.
comments.
Yeah, those are the comments down there. But yeah, before the changes, I did it. I was able to, well, and where he's got in this image, you can tag who's who. I thought.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean,
you can. You have to scroll down about 2/3 of the way down.
we can
Okay.
get to it. Oh,
Here-
it's under the
here it is.
comments.
There you go.
Here we
it
In
are.
says
this
primary
image.
photo.
So there's in this image, the people are listed. If you go a little bit, just a little bit further,
Keep going.
The mouse refuses to work.
Almost there. Okay.
okay, add person
that's-
or thing.
Yeah,
So if you put in a WikiTree ID, that'll add, that
for each
person.
of these people, and their ID is already there.
Yes.
I mean, it won't let you go to the actual person's face and click on it and tag it like Facebook style or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you can identify them in the image.
Mm-hmm.
And you may have to
Or-
type up a narrative that says, okay, this person's on the left, this person's on the right.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
can also say certain.
Oh, that's true. I'll do that.
And what I like to do to get around this is in the comments, I'll do a typical like photo caption like you'd see in a book, like front row, left to right. Dun, dun, dun,
Right.
dun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this setup is actually less user friendly because we're so used to being able to just click on an image and then have the little spot pop up and be like, oh, is this the person
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah.
And in this case, the software doesn't allow us to do that. So we have to go a little old school on describing
Okay.
it.
That's fine. Thank you, though.
All right.
By the way, you would pronounce that surname as Belice.
Belice.
No,
No.
Belice.
Belice.
No,
Belice.
Belice.
Belice and Maria Imbornone.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Imbornone.
Yeah,
Imbornone.
we're here in California, so now they call themselves Belize, but that's great to hear the original name.
That's such a
Uh-huh.
pretty name.
It's too bad we don't
It
have
is.
Chris here from Italy Project.
Yeah, this is a family from Sicily.
I'll try to convince him to show up to one of these.
So Jessica, this was great timing for you to chime in. Did that demonstration show you a little bit about your question about adding sources?
No, it was too complex for me.
I see. Okay. So you had mentioned that you had a lot of paper sources,
Yes.
correct?
I spent the whole winter going to the diocesan
Diocese.
diocese's archive,
Uh-huh.
and collected photographs of paper certificates and records. So I've got tons of them, but I don't know how to add them. I printed them out just to keep them safe, but I
Yes.
don't know how to add them as sources.
Right.
But do you have digital versions of these already? If you printed them out,
She took
Yes, I have photographs,
photographs. Okay.
digital
Are
photos.
are you seeing my screen, Lasush
Yeah.
Kaplan? All right.
Yes, yes, I am.
So I'm going to show you a few things, and you
Thank
tell me
you.
if this is helpful. Okay. So
Mhm,
I'm going to go to the sources section, and you can see I've got sources. Okay.
mhm.
And as I travel down, you'll see different kinds of sources.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, so what I want to do, I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to go to my annotated, a little bit further, annotated bibliography. So what I did here is, because I was doing a lot of research in the area of Gaspé, which is in the eastern extreme of the province of Quebec in Canada, and I knew that other people would want to be able to do similar sources and would have the same kind of difficulties I encountered when writing these. So I put in this annotated bibliography. So for example, when I want to reference the Bibliothèque and Archives Canada, here is how I write a source.
Mhm.
Okay. Similarly with the Banque, which is the Bibliothèque and Archives Nationale de Quebec, and other archives. Okay, so these are from organizations. Now here's a registry, for example. So this is a registry for the for Sillery, which is adjacent to Quebec City. This is one of the oldest documents in Quebec history, and in order to reference it, I needed to specify, who created it, etc. And so, and then for a specific entry, then I could use this information as the basis for the entry, and then add the particulars of the individual. Okay, so this is from the 1600s. Similarly, the register for Pabo, the register at Notre Dame, the register at Bonaventure. So you create a descriptor of that register, and then you put in your additional details. So as you can see, I've got quite a few registers here. Now, with respect to the images that you've taken, then you're going to want to say, okay, first of all, you're going to add the image to the profile.
Yes.
Then you're going to, as a source, you're going to say, this is a photo taken by me.
Yes, I did
on,
that.
Okay.
I entered a few manually, but I
Yes.
wasn't sure I was doing it correctly.
Okay. Would you like to share some of the ones that you've done, and we can take a look
Yes.
at them?
Mhm.
All right. So let me stop sharing here.
Jessica,
And
I'll make you a co-host so you can share.
Okay.
Okay.
I need more time to find them because I don't know which individuals I copied photos for. There were
okay.
many, so right now I can't,
Okay.
in a matter of seconds, find the right one.
Okay.
Jessica, what about if you looked at your contributions list? And that will
Okay.
show you what you've done recently.
Mhm.
That might help you.
Mhm. Excellent idea.
Let's see. So while Jessica's looking for that,
Yeah, she did have one other
Shay-
question much earlier, because we had mentioned creating a personal category.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so Steve, if you, yeah, I would, but my computer's acting up. So
Well, let's see
Steve
who's
can do
sharing
that.
right
He's
now.
got a lot of
Jessica.
personal categories. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Jessica will share. I mean, if we want to talk about personal categories quickly, I can swing back to those.
Yes,
I know it's something to talk about.
in case we run out of time, I shared with Jessica, I can share with everybody. I did a pretty good, if I do say so myself, demonstration on one of the Saturday roundups where I created a profile, a personal category from scratch. And
Mm-hmm.
part of the problem with those is there are only so many that one can create before you run out of examples. So that's why I always like to have that one in my back pocket.
I seem to find a way to make more categories. I don't know. Maybe it's just something wrong with me. It's because I'm left-handed. By the way, I made that category. So I'm
What
going
did
to
you?
add it to notables who are deceased, and other people who want to join in can also add it too. So now we
Oh,
have a
Wait a-
good.
place for us.
So you made the left-handed person category?
Yeah, yeah, I did it, and I put it in
Oh,
category society right next to neurodivergence,
okay.
which I assume. So, yeah, it's available now, and I'm surprised it wasn't there.
I am a little
Great,
bit
thank
too.
you.
I feel
Well,
like it's something that people want to talk about, and enough people responded to that G2G, like 200 people responded to it. So
yeah,
there's enough left-handed people out there to document.
I know. It was like a tidal wave of responses to that
Yeah.
questionnaire.
So do something with your dash, be bold, and there you go. It's done now.
Okay. Hey, can you put that link in the chat to the
Oh, to the category?
category? Yeah.
Sure, why not? And it does have a dash in it, so that's important because this is how it appears on the Wikipedia article. I had to make sure I got the correct term. So if anybody wants to throw that in
Okay.
to your deceased ancestors or yourself, I'll talk to notable people about getting it on theirs because I know that there's some notables that certainly qualify for that.
Jessica, click on details. Oh, sorry.
Yes, I'll go back. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Categorization project probably hates me.
And then if you scroll down, you will be able to see the comments that you added when you first put it in.
Mm-hmm.
So photograph owned by me, inherited from. And do you have any sense of, who took the photograph or when?
No, it's an obituary photograph.
Oh, okay.
So
So
submitted by a family
that's
member.
yeah, that's a bit of detail that you could add that
Okay.
so you want to add, I mean, I think I get the notion that you're familiar with the whole process of archivists,
Mhm.
and that when people do an accession of an item into a catalog, they want to provide as much information as they have available about that object,
Mhm.
right? And so that's part of what you put in this comment is,
Okay.
you mentioned that it's owned by you. And often what people there's nothing wrong with that, but often what people will say is part of the personal collection of.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and um, and then you can say how you came to acquire it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to give its provenance,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's a you inherited from her. And I take it that's your mother or your grandmother. And
No, it was a great aunt. When she
okay,
died, I inherited all her photographs.
okay. But you have no idea how she came to have this photograph, right?
No, they were in albums.
Okay. You might mention if you've categorized the albums, you might mention what
No, I
album it
haven't. I
belongs.
haven't categorized them.
Okay. So as much information as you can
Okay.
offer about that object. Now,
Mm-hmm.
so this is an object that came from an obituary, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
But if it were, for example, a birth certificate or a marriage record or something like
Yes.
that, again, you want to provide as much information as you can about the provenance of it. So
Yes, I did something. I
yeah,
entered a many birth certificates. I just can't find them straight away.
sure, that's okay. I'm just trying to provide you with some
Okay.
guidance about how you would address it. So so you want to provide as much information as you can in terms of provenance, and you want to provide as much information as you can derive from the object about facts.
Mhm.
You know, for example, the marriage occurred on this date. The people who were married were, the witnesses were, the other people who attended,
Mhm.
who was the priest or or the officiant, right? So as much information as you can extract from that, you could put into this comment.
Okay.
So that then the you know the object itself is the source, and all of the information about it can be here. Now, when you attach when you attach this then to a profile, you then have all that information that's available to you as you've already put it into the comment. So you could simply write a link to the comment, or you can copy that information into your source record so that it's all there.
And Rick makes an excellent point that on the details page for an image, there is the option to select either this is a photo,
Mm-hmm.
this is a
Or
source.
source.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this would be an excellent time for you to select source if it's a picture of, a birth certificate or something like that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And Rick's second question, when you state the origin of a photo, why does it require a lengthy statement? It doesn't always, Rick. Although generally speaking, when you do have the information, why not share it? So you may not know where it came from or the exact date or location. And certainly if it's like a photo of people, it doesn't have to be lengthy. It's only if we have that information that we think others would find interesting and helpful. So.
I remembered the name of an ancestor where I think I recorded the birth certificate. So I'm trying to find it. Why doesn't it show up? It should show up.
Why don't you go to your watch list instead? Because then you can, or go under search, actually hit the magnifying glass.
I did that.
No,
Go
but
over to the right side.
on the right,
Oh,
search
yes,
for
yes.
watch list. Yeah. That narrowed it down.
Ah, yes, because there was a middle name.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, here I listed no, that's not what I wanted. No, I didn't enter it, but I mentioned it. I have a baptism record of my great-great-grandfather, but I didn't know how to enter it.
You have two images saved. Are you sure you didn't put it's not in the second image?
No, one is his gravestone picture,
Ah,
and the other one is a family picture. I didn't enter the picture of the baptism record.
I would add that as a photo for his profile. And
Yes.
then, yeah.
Yes.
And then that photo becomes a source.
Okay.
Hey, Betsy?
Yes.
I have a random question here. As I was perusing G2G, I've been identified as an owl. So now we have a separation of newts and owls being longtime members.
Right, right. In
So
fact,
that's a thing that just started recently?
yes, there's quite a ladder. There are about 16 to 20 rungs of the ladder, so I'm not prepared to recite all
Of course
levels of the ladder. But yes, it has to do with your number of contributions on G2G,
Okay.
which include posting something, upvoting something, answering, making a comment, all just G2G activity.
Okay, so they're not doing astronauts and pilots anymore?
Right,
No.
that was a change, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I was wanting to be an astronaut. Guess I'll
yeah,
stay
I
on this
know.
planet now.
Mm,
Yes. Anne, you've been waiting very patiently.
that's okay. Just remind everybody is Tech Talk is tomorrow, Monday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Everybody could join, so enjoy it. It's fantastic. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I usually have to get those on the replay on YouTube, but they are. And Murray has been deeply involved and is a co-host. Murray, you want to give any more teaser for tomorrow?
No, actually, I am no longer a co-host. And Greg and Rob and Kay are the co-hosts, and they will be presenting, whatever new information there is about the tools. Oh, my circumstances have changed, and I needed to withdraw.
Oh, okay. Because I really enjoyed when you were doing your WikiTree browser and
And Greg will do that.
updates.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Well,
Never mind.
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Thanks, Anne, and thanks, Murray. Well, we're over an hour, so we should probably wrap it up, unless there's one final question that is burning for anyone. Oh, and we should say that Murray, yes, so I'm seeing in the chat that Murray was the one who suggested the term owl. So from newts to owls to golden owls.
It's my eyebrows, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there should be some t-shirts. I mean, I do love my newt shirt, but I'll suggest that to Awen. That could be a nice addition to the
Do I need to be able to turn my head 360 degrees?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And thank you to those who are watching afterwards. I'm going to stop the recording now. And these always happen the second Thursday evening of the month and the fourth Sunday morning. So you're welcome to come back as many times as you would like. Hope to see you then.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This was wonderful. Very inspiring.
Thank you.